Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the January meeting of the Board of Commissioners. This meeting was called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting was included in an annual notice of meetings sent to the Asbury Park Press and to the Two River Times, and in addition, a copy of this notice was posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building and filed in the office of the municipal clerk, where it remains continuously posted as required under state statute. Please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remove your baseball caps. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Joyce, can you call the meeting to order, Joyce? Here. 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 Can I get a motion? The reading of the minutes of the previous meeting held on November 24th and December 17th and December 29th be dispensed with, and that they stand as recorded. Please excuse my voice.
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
Yes. Consent agenda. Consent agenda items are considered routine and will be enacted with a single motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certificate of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes. Number one, we have a resolution appointing David F. Stickle to serve on the Two River Water Reclamation Authority Board for a term of 5 years to expire on 1/31/31. Number two, authorizing a veteran tax exemption. Number three, authorizing an agreement with Lanny Lombardi Esquire for tax appeal legal services. Number four, budget transfers. Number five, authorizing the purchase of fire apparatus upfitting services from New Jersey Fire Equipment Company through the Bergen County Cooperative Purchasing System in the amount not to exceed $22,880.75. And number six, authorizing grant application to the DCA for Griffin Park fitness equipment and safety servicing for Shorelands Park playground equipment. Can I get a motion on the consent agenda items be passed and adopted?
So moved.
I just have one question
Yes,
before we
sir.
do this, and it's a legal question. Bruce, can I vote on this since I'm in?
For yourself?
Yes. Okay, I'll second it.
That's what I figured I would. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, Joyce.
Serving on that commission.
Oh, yes. Okay. And congratulations to Dave. We're very happy that he chose to do this. We are also thankful for Bert Barm, who served, I believe, 28 years in that position, and a local resident, longtime resident here, grew up here, and did a fantastic job for us. So not easy positions to fill, but I think Dave is an excellent choice for this, and I'm very happy he chose to do that. Can I get a motion that the bills totaling $448,078.58 be approved for payment?
So moved.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Can I get a motion that the ordinance be passed on title only and that the clerk be instructed to advertise the ordinance for public hearing to be held on February 25th at a meeting beginning at 7 p.m.?
So moved.
Yes.
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 You have an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 19, solid waste management of the Borough Code to mandate private disposal of corrugated cardboard by commercial entities. This is a public hearing. There are copies of the ordinance on the road.
Can I get a motion that the hearing be open to the public?
So moved.
Second. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Just some clarification on this. This is an ordinance that we took a look at in the last 6 months or so, we've been noticing for the better part of the last few years, more and more cardboard and debris being placed in our dumpster that we have behind Borough Hall. The Borough Hall dumpster is used for residents that may or may not have put their recyclables and/or cardboard out at the curb. They come down, they drop it in. What had been happening more and more is we were having commercial operations from not only Monmouth Beach, but from surrounding communities that we found on our camera that were bringing their boxes here, not breaking them down on top of that, throwing the boxes as well as the plastics and the styrofoam into our dumpster. It was becoming a huge problem. What we've been finding is that most of the debris is coming from builders who have dumpsters on site at the building that they're building here in town most of the time, and that dumpster's there for their debris by ordinance, and they're taking that debris and bringing it here. That's costing all of us more money. So we chose to take this action. It's not going to prohibit residents from coming down and putting their garbage in here or their cardboard in here, but we do not want contractors or business owners from here or any other town to take advantage of our good nature of having that out there for your convenience. And that's what this is. Here, it's open to the public. Anybody have any question on that ordinance?
I just want to add that our disposal costs are, what is it now, Joe? $150 a ton for cardboard and recycling as a whole. And that's why we've made some changes to the yard back there, in case everybody's wondering. But the costs are just getting out of hand. Just 2 years ago or 3, when Mazza opened it up, it was $75 a ton. 55 when they first opened. Thanks, Joe. So you'll see that this just adds a tax burden to our taxpayers here, and it's really getting out of hand. So we're trying to get a control on it. We don't want to eliminate that yard because we like the convenience for our residents, but we also, by the same token, don't feel it's proper for our residents to be paying to haul somebody else's recyclables out. So
we've taken other steps as needed to remove our own trash and get rid of a private carter that we were contracting with 30-yard dumpsters. We now have our own dumpsters, and we're putting them into our garbage trucks and bringing them out on a normal recycling day. So it has been, would you say it was effective, Joe, so far?
Okay, hearing none, can I have the motion to the hearing be closed?
So moved. Yes.
Yes. And then can I get a motion that the ordinance be passed and adopted after this second reading and public hearing?
So moved. Yes.
Yes. All right, we're going to move on to administrators' reports. Anthony?
I'd like to compliment Joe and the Public Works Department for working many hours.
Anthony.
You too? Now,
We want to hear you.
I'd like to
You're being
thank Joe
recorded.
and the Department of Public Works and his employees for doing a great job on the snow removal. Many hours and under difficult conditions. We had difficulty getting salt, as you may know. We rely on the county, and the county closed their yard, so we had a scramble, but Joe was able to come up with enough salt from different locations to make sure our roads were safe, and his guys did a great job. I'd just like to thank him for that.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks, Joe. All right, anything else, Anthony? Excellent.
That's all. Thank you.
How about Bruce, Borough Attorney's report? Thank you, Bruce. And I know that you have a report, Borough Engineer. Thanks for coming out, Julie. Julie just got an operation on her foot, and she has been laid up for a few days, but she went over hill and dale and came through the blizzard and came.
My pleasure. So both the Riverdale Avenue project and the Seaview Avenue road projects are on hold Now, for the winter, we finished the drainage on Seaview, and we're about halfway through the curb, and then it got shut down for the holidays and for now for the weather. The Griffin Park ADA accessible waterfront pavilion. We bid that and awarded that last month, and that contractor actually, Spartan Construction. We had the pre-construction meeting. They've been very active with submittals and getting out there for site visits, and as soon as the weather breaks, they're going to have everything ready to get right on that. And Shorelands, Priscilla Brower Park, we also awarded that to Monarch for its site work, and then playground equipment is purchased via state contract, and that's on the way. And actually, if you want to, I'm sharing a rendering of the new gazebo at Griffin Park. That's not Joe.
That's very nice.
And that's all I have.
Hey, Julie, for the next meeting, since we like that picture so much, could you get us one of the proposal for Shorelands Park? We have a couple of renderings, right? Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Chief, you're up.
So, just going over information from last year, we had about 8,500 calls for service last year, 72 arrests, 40 of them were DWI. So far this year, we're at about 600 calls for service, so 6 DWI arrests. I think everyone heard that the state passed a new e-bike law. Sounds like it's going to pretty much treat e-bikes as mopeds. We're still waiting for the prosecutor's office to give us guidance on that, on how that's going to be implemented, and we'll include another e-bike presentation with that information on it once it is out for residents to come to. Our traffic safety officer is pulling all the traffic data off all of our signs so we can figure out our average speeds and traffic flows. We have most of it done. We're starting to digest that. One of the most interesting facts we found was Wesley last year had over 900,000 cars drive on it, which is crazy. And this last week, Monday actually, the BA and me met with Flock to go over the cameras for the park, the beach club, and the cultural center, and they're telling us that's going to move ahead, weather related, depending, so we'll see when that's going to go in.
Thanks, Chief. Joe? All right. Well, I think I want to echo, I'm sure we all do, echo his remarks. Fantastic, and thank you very much. Yeah. All right. I want to open the meeting to the public, and then we can have our discussion items. Can I get a motion to open the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, we have a couple of items tonight. I have one question first, and then I have an item. When we went out back in the fall, we took a ride around with Genevieve. We took a ride around our people, and we sent that report to Genevieve. Have we heard anything from the state in regard to that?
I did call Bill Henderson, a colleague I know in their office, and asked him, if she'd be getting back. But I'm going to touch base again on the whole with all of us on the email.
Okay. And this is in regards to the dredging that had taken place this past year in the Shrewsbury River. We were concerned about some of the dredging that did not take place, and so we're attempting to make some contact with the state to see if we can get portions of the channel, the local channel that was not done, on their next go-around here. So we're waiting for an answer back so we can meet with them. The Wells Fargo property, just an update. I actually talked to Commissioner Stickle a couple of weeks ago, just before he stepped out of town. I had gotten a message from Wells Fargo encouraging more this time. So they actually put in the letter this time that they are still waiting for an answer on donating the property to the borough. That's what they're attempting to do. So this has to go through a lot of channels with Wells Fargo, and it's been the better part of the last 5 months now. I hope that we'll hear something within the next few months in 26 as to where they are with this. The plan is to acquire it from them, free if we can, and use it as a park for the community. So we're waiting on an answer, and we'll let you know as soon as we know more. Anybody have any questions on that, by the way? Excellent.
I'll jump.
No, I have nothing for budget or anything yet, probably not for a month or so.
Okay. I'll jump in. I just want to say, Joe, there's a snowflake on Riverdale I saw. Can you take care of that? Nice job. You make us all look good. We appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you very much. And get that damn snowflake off of the street, will you? Okay. All right. That's all I have. Nothing else.
Oh, it's green. Okay. I didn't see that. I couldn't see the colors from back there. My name is Cora Steckroth. I live on West Street. I've lived here for almost 8 years now. And I just had a quick question about the repairs, and recently the rumble strips were installed. Has anyone, or do you find them effective? You do find them effective? They are effective. How come, and then my next follow-up question would be, how come they're only on West Street? Why are there,
well-
if they're effective, why would,
So part of that state, Cora, part of that state DOT, I'll start and then we can let Julie jump in.
I'm just curious,
Yeah,
like,
part of that state DOT project was to replace repave the road in kind. And
So
they were there before. They were pretty worn out.
right,
They were there though, but they were just pretty worn out. And as Chief said, they are pretty effective in slowing people down. And we are concerned about that street because we did a nice job widening it a little bit and paving it. And we're afraid, especially in the summertime, we're going to have a lot of people going quite quickly down that street. So I know we're talking about putting up speed signs like you see on Riverdale in front of my house, that kind of thing to try to slow people down, and additional enforcement also by the police department as far as, actual patrol sitting there with a radar gun, try to keep it under control. We don't want that to get out of control like it was before it got ripped up. It was when there's a lot of potholes, everybody has to go slow.
I mean,
but
it was loud for so long, and now,
yeah,
and then, because I do see people, I mean, some people drive over them, and some people just are like,
they go around them.
they're
So
like
if patrol sees that,
they're looping around them.
yeah, if patrol sees that, right, Chief, they'll
Pretty
pull them over,
regularly?
right? Yeah.
Okay.
So
And my also other concern is they're quite loud. I don't know. I just find them loud. Like I can hear them inside the house. I can hear them in the backyard. So now I hear them speeding, and it's rumble, rumble, rumble. Like I don't know. I mean, the rumble strips were there before, but they weren't.
They were
They
worn
weren't
out.
Like a noise. It's like it's noisy. They're noisy.
They will be. So will speed bumps or any other of that kind of calming device.
So that they're just going to be loud until they get worn out.
yeah, they'll get worn out again. Yeah, but they were put on before I got in office in 17, so they were there probably 10 to 15 years ago. They were. Chief says maybe more than that.
And they're not going to go anywhere else in town. It's literally just that street because they were there before. I'm just trying to understand.
Well, that's the street that we find we have the most issues with speeders. There's no speed signs on it. Speed sign on Wesley, speed sign on Riverdale, speed sign out here on Beach. And we find that street we have the most issues with. So that's our initial attempt at trying to slow the traffic down a little bit. If we put speed bumps in, it would be worse. Because then you'd hear the car as they're going over it bottom out.
Yeah, they're louder than I was expecting. And I see people swerving around them, so I just wanted to address it.
So those were there, as Dave pointed out, 15 years ago, 18 years ago, whenever they put them in. And it took a few years, but they started to wear down. And over time, they will again. So we'll decide at that point whether or not we want to have them redone. But the project, because of the fact that the road was done, it was DOT funds, we have to have the road done in kind, and that's what they replaced. So,
It's like exactly the way that
right,
it was.
so, you know, but always with mind towards safety. We've had multiple complaints on West Street. You are not the first person that has stood at that podium over the last 5 years that have come in here, right? It is probably one of the roads, we've got several that we get repeated complaints on. It is on one of the top of the list roads we get complaints on.
Voters, it's people.
Yeah. So we're attempting as best we can to try to calm that, and this will be one tool, but we are doing other things. They are doing enhanced enforcement. You know, but when the weather warms up, they're gonna be out there, and I'm sure people will get the word,
To slow down.
not to go above the speed limit. We're trying.
You know, with the restaurants down the end of the street down there, there's a lot of people that don't live in town.
They don't live in town, they come on the road and they just,
They-
like, they've been paying attention, they see the signs. I feel like they got on and they open up, they're like, they know they're almost
They
there.
do. It's a long, straight
People are
street.
biking and,
Yep.
We've done multiple speed studies on that street, and we're doing another one since the rumble strips have been put in to see the actual effects of speed on it. So, once we get that data, we'll be able to figure out more things to do out there.
right, thank you so much.
So moved? Yes.
Yes. Can I get a
Motion to adjourn. Yes.